Today I'm going to take a look at the National Museum of Scotland on Chambers Street. I gotta admit, I really like this one. This is one of those buildings that I remember going up, I remember it happening, because it was the extension to the museum. I remember the museum before it happened, with the big glass atrium and the kind of huge dinosaurs and all the trains and things that were in there before. And I think this is a really interesting and challenging building that's resolved quite a few things quite cleverly. I think it's got an odd site on a corner, but it brings together that idea of, you know, historic Scottish architecture and contemporary museum space in one building, and I think that's exciting. It's a really challenging building. There are so many themes. I think the most obvious one is that big corner tower. It's that kind of Scottish castle type aesthetic. It's this huge heavy mass with slot openings, and it ties in with old castles and secure townhouses and tower houses and things. But it sits in the landscape. It's got that almost carved from a block of stone aesthetic as well, which is interesting. I think it speaks of Edinburgh. And then inside it's really bright, it's full of light, it's almost the complete opposite of what you would expect when you see it from the outside, so there's a really interesting divergence there as well. I don't think it's universally loved. I think it's not without its challenges. It's sandstone, so in that sense it ticks the box from Edinburgh's point of view, but other than that, it jars, I think, but it jars really successfully. It's one of those spaces that I think just sits so well on the streetscape that you can interact with, the tower on the corner, the play of windows and the kind of, there's little shadow gap windows at eye level as you walk along, so it appears to float although it's so heavy. So I think it's a really interesting way of fitting in, but not what you would traditionally call fitting in. I think this was a huge challenge. It took years to build. It was done at a point when pretty much the whole industry was moving over to AutoCAD and computer design, and it was done by a practice that drew everything by hand and generated hundreds, if not thousands, of drawings, every detail drawn by hand. It's been done at a point where, the majority of the buildings in concrete. We don't build a lot in concrete. It's not without its challenges. Some of the details have probably not aged brilliantly. They've not loved the Scottish weather maybe as much as you would hope. But I think it's still, in spite of the difficulties, I think it's a great building. I love it. And I think sometimes those ones that are challenging, those ones that are a real fight to kind of get through planning, get through construction, but also get built, I think they're the really exciting ones to work on. I mean, my only regret with this one is that it's not weathered as well as you would hope. Maybe that's just a maintenance thing. Maybe, as usual with most public buildings, the money's not there to look after it as well as you'd want. But other than that, I think it's a great building.